Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up a Exchange 2010 lab. Now, Exchange, Microsoft Exchange 2010, uh, it's not the latest version at the moment. There is a newer version called Exchange 2013, and it's moving towards Exchange 2016. But at the moment, most of the places Exchange 2010 is being used. There are a few differences in Exchange 2010 and 2013. At the end of this training, I'm going to go through those differences. But most of the functionality is exactly the same. So in Exchange, and Exchange 2010 resembles more to the previous versions, and it is closer to the next version as well. So kind of Exchange 2010 sits in the middle of Exchange 2007 architecture and 2013 architecture. So now in this lab, I'm gonna have three machines. Later on, we're gonna have four machines. So first machine is this, which is Exchange DC Exchange 01. IP address will be 192.168.100.10. It will be our domain controller and DNS. This will be our Exchange server. It has three roles: mailbox server, cache, and hub. Whereas our second Exchange server will be Exchange EXCH02. IP address will be 100.20, and it is an Exchange server having just a mailbox server role. Later on, we're going to add to the equation Exchange EXCH03, which will be Exchange server number 3. It will be again having another mailbox server role. That will be for the clustering and high availability. For now, we'll be working in these two machines, and this is our client machine CANEPS CL01. Our network is all based on 192.168.100.0/24. Now let's look at our lab. So in my lab environment, I have these three servers. So first one, Exchange DCEXCH01, and Exchange ESCH02, CANEPS CL01. So this is our domain controller. I've already installed Active Directory in this, and my domain is caneps.pri. No changes have been made. Active Directory is exactly in its default configuration. Exchange 02, this is with IP address 20. It is pointing to this DNS, which is Active Directory, and this machine is joined to the CANEPS domain. As you can see, logon domain is CANEPS. Whereas machine 3, which is a client machine, it's Windows 7. It is joined to CANEPS. It has IP address 100.40, which we can see here. This is 100.40, 100.10, 100.20, 100.10. So let's begin our Exchange installation. It starts from CANEPS DC EXCH01. Now I would highly recommend that create a snapshot of this environment at this point. So I've created these two snapshots. So whenever you create a snapshot, take all three snapshots, all three machines. Exchange installation is a bit complex. Many times it crashes in the middle, and the only way to fix it, not most of the time, but sometimes, is that you'll have to completely recreate the environment. Now if you have a good snapshot, you can just revert back to this basic setup and then reinstall Exchange. So for now, I'm going to start the Exchange installation. All I need to do is mount the CD, and I'm gonna mount the image, make sure it is connected, and then I'm gonna find my ISO. So I have Exchange 2010 SP1 ISO here. So I mounted it. As soon as you mount it, in few moments you should have it mounted automatically here, or if you want you can always go in here and just double click on this icon. So once it starts here, so this was autoplay. Once it starts here, it needed 3.5. So whatever is grayed out, this is already there. So all I need to do, start from here, set the language, and then I'm gonna start Exchange. Now Exchange setup, as soon as it starts, it will extend the schema. The good thing about Exchange 2010, it does many things by itself as compared to its previous versions. Exchange 2007, we had to prepare Active Directory before Exchange installation. Exchange 2003 was even more difficult in install. Now in Exchange 2010, it has made our life easier by it will be doing a lot of things in the background. For example, Exchange will be extending the schema. What is extending the schema? Extending schema is that in users property, it's gonna add some Exchange attributes that we don't see here at the moment. I don't see any Exchange attributes here. So you're gonna have, once schema is extended, you're gonna see Exchange tabs here. So it will do during the setup. So the setup started. Next we need to accept the agreement, and next nothing was done here. This is just for error reporting to Microsoft. We're not interested. We're not interested. And then here it gives us two types of installation. One is typical, one is custom. Typical installation will only install 3 roles: hub transport role, client access role, mailbox role. But if you need to do all of these roles, then you can do custom install. Custom install is mostly for if you want to separate out these roles on different servers. Now here we're going to go with typical server on our first machine. As we can see here in the diagram, this server will be having mailbox, cache, and hub. And the second server will only be mailbox. So let me see here. So in this first server, I'm going to install hub, client access, mailbox. This automatically, these are just management tools. So typical, and then next. And here you need to give your Exchange organization name. In our case, we're going to say CANEPS, EXCH, CANEPS Exchange. Let's say CANEPS Exchange. Just like Active Directory forest, in one forest there can be only one Exchange organization. So this will be it. For now, we don't need to select this. Next. Here we don't need to select this as well because we don't have any Outlook 2003 clients in this organization. Next. Here we don't need anything. Here we don't need to join the improvement program. And next. Now in this next screen now it's gonna check this Exchange will be checking out all prerequisites that needs to be done before Exchange install. So basically it is checking prerequisites for everything: prerequisites for Exchange, prerequisites for Exchange organization, prerequisites for hub transport role, and everything. And basically if anything fails in this, we need to fix it. We need to have those patches installed. Sometimes some security patches are not installed. Sometimes some permissions are not there. Some security settings are not there. But the good thing is, whatever is errored out here, Microsoft will give us the article. At least the basics would direct us to a basic article where we can start our troubleshooting from. So now in this case, we're just gonna wait. It doesn't take too long. So if and again, it's just a prerequisites check. It's not installing anything at the moment. Now with Exchange installation, Exchange needs to be installed by administrative account, and especially an administrative account that have schema access to Active Directory, not a simple administrative account. So there we go. So we got some error messages here. Right at the beginning it is saying Active Directory schema is not up to date and this user account is not member of schema admin. So basically the account that we are logged in at the moment is not a schema, is not an administrator account. Now who am I logged in with? I'm logged in with, oh okay, so I'm logged in with just a normal account, not an administrative account, and this is obvious. So we need to log in with administrative accounts, so everything will be errored out. Now other than this, there are some errors that are pointing to IAS. Actually there are many errors. So what I'm gonna do is, before I restart, because I can retry this, but before retrying, first of all I need to log in with administrative account. So log off and log back in. So to see we're logged in with just a normal account, I'm gonna switch users, and here we need to say administrator account and the password. Now once this is done, I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to go into Server Manager and install the IAS role, because I remember that there were some error messages there. So let's be proactive and just go and install that role, web server role. Now since it is a test environment, I'm gonna, once you select this, it will ask you IAS role services. What I would do, avoid any error messages. For now I'm gonna select everything here. Now because sometimes it will give you it will give you retries, hundreds of retries just to select the right option. But in real environment you might not be doing these all selections. You will be doing only some specified. So basically it needs the Metabase compatibility for its own functionality. Here in test environment I'll select everything. I don't need a FTP server, but other than FTP I'm gonna select everything just to have maybe a smooth install. And sometimes what we do is, there are some articles or there are some PowerShell commands that are available on the net, from which you can basically do what? You can basically install all prerequisites. So for example, if we can go here, we can say this is Exchange 2010 install and install prerequisites PowerShell. So basically you can find this in many places, where in order to install PowerShell, in order to install all the prerequisites at the same time, all you need to do is you can just select this complete here. If you can select this, actually this is a complete commandlet right from start to here. This will completely install everything that needs to be there. But before that you need to do this and this. But in my case I think I've already selected that manually, so it is doing it. Otherwise, if I would have not done this, but I can definitely do this on the second server here. In my second server I'm logged in with administrator, because later on this is going to be an Exchange server. So on this one I'll start a PowerShell, and here what I'll do, I'll just first of all run this command, import server manager commandlet. I need to just press right click, so it does import it, and then all I need to do, so it's like the same thing as what I'm doing right now through GUI. This is just through the PowerShell. So let's go here again and enter. So this is another easy way of installing all the prerequisites for Exchange. Uh, now this will not only install, so you don't have to remember the this complete commandlet. You can just copy. So all I did, I just went search and I went here, and that's what it is. You can just copy it. So on this one, it's saying it is done. And now all I need to do is maybe I can just restart it once because I've added few things. So Exchange 2010 is not a simple install, but it's not as complicated as before in Exchange 2007 or 2003. But still, it might give you many issues while installed. So be patient. Just fix one error at a time, or or if you know how to fix multiple errors at a time, then you can go through this. But I would say if you're new to Exchange, just be patient and go one by one error and retry the install. Now let me see my second server. Second server automatically started since this commandlet automatically started it. So this is my environment where this is Exchange 1, Exchange 2. This will be a domain controller and Exchange. This is Exchange 2 and just a mailbox server role. So let's see. So it is our domain controller and Exchange is being installed. Actually, yes, it will be restarted again one more time once the schema is updated. So let's see. So it came back, but let me see who is it logged in with. Oh, again, it's logged in with normal user. Make sure that it is logged in with the domain admin. So I'm logged off, and this time I'm gonna again switch user, because what happens is if it logs in with the normal user, the Exchange setup will again fail. Okay, so it is done, and now I'm gonna go back to here and rerun the Exchange setup. Actually, it's not running yet. In order to run, I need to right click. Oh, there is no auto run, so sometimes the easier way would be to just disconnect the CD. There are other ways too, but I find it the easiest one in VMware Workstation, where if I disconnect, reconnect, it should automatically bring in the auto run. So it should be bringing in, so it's just opening it. I need it to be auto run because I want to start with the setup. It's going to start one of these, most probably this one, but I wanted to automatically run. So one more time. So in the meantime, I'm gonna, so this is just restarting. This client will be having Microsoft Outlook so that we can connect to Exchange later on. So here is the auto run. So once I start, it automatically ends up going here. Again, we're gonna select language from DVD and start the installation. Okay, I'm gonna log into my second machine as well. And I'm gonna copy that a small little utility called bginfo. Now the good thing about this bginfo is that I can see the server information right on desktop. All you need is download this free tool from Microsoft website. You can just Google it, download it, and then it starts. And as soon as you apply on this side on the desktop, it gives you all this information. So sometimes it's just handy to have this information here. For example, the IP address, this is DNS. Here I have the boot time. Here I have the CPU. You can just you can remove these things as well. For example, if you go inside, because I just removed them on some other places. Here it says, okay, resume the setup. So here, if you see, I have less stuff on this. It's just because I just removed some of the things from here. Let me copy the same thing on this BG info. As you can see, let me just. Okay, as you can see, as soon as I restarted, Exchange setup started. It asked me, do I need to resume the setup? It's going to check again. So basically now at the moment, once it is doing organization prerequisites, it's just checking that if it has the ability to work with schema. And later on, it's going to go to all these roles and give us that those other details that if anything is missing. So at this point, I'm gonna just stop the video, pause the video. As soon as it stops anywhere, I'm gonna start recording again. So it again failed, and this time it's not giving any significant error, but it's just saying that the reboot is required from previous installation. Now let me see. So one thing, I need to reboot and restart this. So this is also reboot for hub reboot, but there is something also missing, IAS 7 extension. You know, maybe the better thing would be if I just run the same thing what I did for the second server previously. I'll just take this commandlet, copy, run it once on this. So because it's still showing me that there is one missing commandlet, that is IAS 7, I guess. So let me copy this, copy, bring it to PowerShell, just do it. Now this type of I think it was not, this type of support for just running the commandlets was not present in 2003. Don't know about 2007, but I did multiple times in 2003 installation, 2007 installation, but every time we had to go through step-by-step documentation from Microsoft and to select the prerequisites that needs to be done before the exchange. But this is quite simple if it meets all of the prereqs requirements. Now this machine is starting, and here this machine is started. So this machine is just a member server. It's not a DC. I have only one DC in this environment. I cannot start the Exchange installation here yet unless my Exchange organization is up. So there will be one Exchange organization and the second Exchange, or later on we're going to add the third Exchange. They'll both be part of the same organization. But in the meantime, let me just mount the Exchange CD on this. So till the time when we are ready to install Exchange. And my CD is sitting in my ISOs, and so, and in this, okay, again I think it logged in with that other user. Let me, oh no, not restart, let me log off and log back in with administrator account. So just keep an eye on this, because if you don't, then you just keep on going in circles. Permission issues, wrong user login, again it starts, goes back to the normal user, so stuff like that. Now let's see, in a few moments it should automatically detect the CD, but because I can't wait, so I'm being impatient. No, don't be impatient, have some patience, lot of patience with Exchange. It is less complicated than SCCM, I can tell you that, but still installation is more complex than just Active Directory installation. So CD should be popping up. Let's see. What if I run this? Yes, so if I run the setup, it automatically goes to that. So this setup, this other setup is just for scripting. I think this is setup.com. This is the other setup. So copying. Starting the setup. I don't want this video to be huge long video, but since it is Exchange install, I don't want you to miss anything of significance. So bear with me here. So while this is starting up, let's talk about Exchange roles. So Exchange 2010 has total 5 roles in it. So three of the roles you already see them here. Mailbox server role that has all of the mailboxes. There is CAS client access server role. This has this is the connection point for all types of clients, and hub, this is a mail transportation. Okay, so here when I come back to the same server, it's just saying, do you want to resume the setup from previous settings? Yes. If I would have said no, it would have started again asking me the basic questions like if you want to accept the agreement and do you want to take part in the Microsoft Improvement Program or error reporting, this and that. So since I just started, it started from the same place where it already finished last time. So let's see, it was failed here last time, saying that it needed a reboot. We just rebooted it, and now hopefully this should work. So this is the third time we rebooted, because first time it was permission, second time it was just a reboot, and this is the third time. So it will check so this is passed. It is checking this, hopefully, and probably this will be passed. Second, this will be simple, and these will be a little difficult, if not complicated, because this is a hub transport server role that is responsible for transportation of emails from one server to another, from one site to another, from one company to another. So basically this is transportation truck. So this role acts like a transportation truck. That is why it is known as hub transport role. Whereas CAS role, so here, okay, good. So now we have a warning. Warning is fine. Warning is not an issue. We can completely ignore the warning. We have another warning here on hub transport server role, which is fine, not a big issue. It's just saying you need Office 2010 filter pack. And we have another warning on CAS, that is also good. And we have another warning in mailbox. So it's all good. We're ready to install. So congrats, you're ready to install Exchange. These warnings, they can be settled up, they can be fixed later on. For now I'm just gonna install. Now this is again another place where you can see many errors here. Now first it was just checking the prerequisites. Now actually it is doing changes in your environment. So basically it's extending the schema. It is it will be installing system file exchange system files. It will be creating while extending the schema, will be creating some special groups in exchange in ADUC for exchange. Basically three types of groups: read-only, administrator, full administrator uh, groups. So once those are created, so basically it's using all your permissions and access, so it's doing a lot of things at the moment here, and then here, then stop services, copy exchange files, and so on. It goes on and on and on. Again, I would say you need a lot of patience. Why? Because at this point it can fail any moment, and then it would give you errors, then it would point you towards some Microsoft Technic articles where you need to go fix the error, come back, redo the install. So here I'm gonna pause the video, and if it stops anywhere, I'm gonna start recording again. So it's been about 3 minutes. It is still preparing the organization. Well, just let it go. I just wanted to show you where it is. It is still going on for the organization preparation, preparing Active Directory, Forest, and all that. So while this is doing this, let's complete the prerequisites here on Exchange 2. So let's see if it meets the prerequisites. So the best way to know is that that you start the install so that it can go through prerequisites. But I don't know if we can go. I don't remember that. I think it's gonna need the Exchange organization name to even run the prerequisites. So here this is going on. And in this I'm gonna need Microsoft Office to be installed so that I can work with Outlook. So I'm gonna find that. So I'm gonna find the Microsoft Office. It's been 5 minutes preparing organization. Okay, at least no errors, so that's good. So here, let's see, license agreement, I accept, and here no error reporting. It's going to be custom in this case, and since based on this diagram, I'm gonna need only mailbox server role. So on this, I'm gonna just select mailbox server role. I'm not gonna have any other roles here. Of course, management tools automatically goes with this. There is no Outlook 2003 in this. And let's see. So client settings, readiness check. Yes, it can run the prerequisites. Okay, so let it go. So it's doing prerequisites, and this time, so this is done, first one. Second one, organization preparation, and since we have only one role, it does not have to do all prereqs for all other roles. Okay, so we're done with preparation, preparing setup, stopping services, copying exchange files. Good. Seems to be going on smoothly. So I think in another 15 to 20 minutes we'll be all done. Okay, Exchange install is still going on server 1. On server 2, okay, prereqs is done. There are a few warnings, which is fine, and Exchange is ready to be installed. Now, I'm not going to install it unless this installation is finished, because once this installation is done, then Exchange organization will be ready. Once Exchange organization is ready, then we can add another Exchange server to this organization. Now here you can see it's saying it didn't detected any hub transport server role or the CAS role because they're not installed properly. That's why it gave us the warning. Now once this is all done, then we're gonna click install, and it can recognize the running Exchange. So it's going on. Okay, good. So restoring services, languages are done. It's installing management tools for Exchange, and done. Installing the hub transport server role. Yeah, normally these three are where most of the errors come. Let's see. Now it's very important that before doing all this, you need to 100% make sure that firewalls are off in the test environment. They're all pinging each other. They're all joined to Active Directory. Your Active Directory should be working fine. If you have those small things here and there, then this installation will not be as smooth as it seems here. Okay, let's peek into our installation. So it's been about almost 10 minutes where it is stuck on hub transport role. So this is 10.25. Still going on, no errors. That's a good thing. Let it continue, let it finish. So I'm gonna pause the video and then come back again if it errors out or if it stops at any point. Okay, finally it took about 20 minutes. After 20 minutes it errored out with this error message. Now we need to fix this. If this is not fixed, then we need to kind of then these cannot work. So it's saying services failed to reach status running on server. Okay, so it's saying that this service was unable to reach status running. So no issues. So the way we can work with these error messages error messages is view the setup log, and actually you can go to this link as well at the same time. Now this link won't be open on this machine because there is no internet on this. Either you add a bridged network card on this, or once this it tries to connect to this link, it won't be able to connect. All you need to do is copy this link, take it to your host machine, and just go here. Oops, so okay, so that's not the link because it changed. I think it changed the link. Actually it was this link. So let's go here. Let's see. So the link that it refers to is not working. So what we do is we can go into this view error log here and just go right at the end where it gives you error information. So here it's saying there is one error, so you can just check service this unexpected error started right here. Actually, see how many attempts it did in the last 20 minutes. Wow, so that's why. So we'll wait 9,000 milliseconds, 9,000. So finally it errored out. So let's check. So we're gonna check this error message. We'll just copy this complete. So I'm showing you how to kind of troubleshoot these error messages. I'm gonna say this is Exchange 2010 and the error message. No, the error message was not properly copied. And here, copy. Go back here again. And here I'm looking for Exchange 2010 and this. So here it says reach this. Let's go to this. And this is somebody asking this question, so it's the same error message. What is this? The problem can be caused by disabling IPv6. Can be caused, okay. And what else? Shows error due to this. Disable either or your interface or for registry might be security issue. Here it's saying here some pointers, check many order and go here, exchange open and so it's saying enable IPv6 to completely disable IPv6 on this. Follow this. So what we'll do is we'll just go enable IPv6. I think it's related to IPv6. I disabled it because we're not using it. So let's go back and enable it. So we'll go here, properties, just enable the setting, and let's finish this. Okay, it needs a reboot, or can I do a reinstall? Let's see if I can do a reinstall. I think it won't let me go until I reboot. So it's just starting up. I think it's better to reboot. Let me reboot and come back because it's only going to waste some time. Here I'm gonna force. So it's restarted again, and again it went to this normal user. I'm gonna log off and log back in with the administrator account. Log in. I'm gonna run the Exchange setup again. So once this comes back, choose language, Exchange setup. Okay, it stopped here because this is the second time. There are few things that are already done, so it's just not running everything. It is just giving me few options. It's saying you need to install this and this and this. So I'm going to install these three roles. Next. It did not ask me those questions because it already prepared the schema. It already did the prerequisites. Here it's just giving me those options that are not available. So it's going to start from the same place. So hub transport server role. Now let's see, hopefully this should automatically do it. And so actually the log is, I think this is the log file that it is working on. So basically in this log file it's showing us where it is at the moment. So this is where it got those errors. Okay. Oh, okay, excellent. Hub role is installed. Now it is installing the client access role. So which means the previous issue was just due to the IPv6 was disabled, and it needed IPv6 just to have some components configured. Although we're not using IPv6, but IPv6 is required during the setup. If we need to permanently disable IPv6, then we need to do some, I think, registry tweaks. So as shown in this article, saying you need to enable this. If you need to permanently delete this, then you need to go into these registry settings and do some changes. So instead we just enabled it. So client access role, hopefully this should be installed without error. Let's see. So I'm gonna pause the video here since it will take some time for installation. Okay, so client access server is installed. Now it is installing the mailbox server role. So it took only about 5 minutes, 4.5 minutes to install the client or the CAS role. Okay, so Exchange is installed. So it took about altogether 11 minutes now, 20 minutes before, about 45 minutes altogether. So Exchange is installed on this. I'm gonna finish this and close this, and here strongly recommend latest critical patches. So we're gonna just exit from here, and then all I need to do is verify Exchange install. So verification is you need to go to all programs and you need to find Exchange here. Within Exchange we need to open Exchange Management Console. This is the management console from which the Exchange is managed. So this is one thing, the console should open and should connect us to the Exchange database. Other than this, the second verification is we need to go to administrative tools, go to services, and within services it added many Exchange services. This is the EMC, Exchange Management Console. Here services are here. Before I go into the console, I want to show you some Exchange services. We sorted by E. These are all Exchange services here. So here, from here to here, these are all Exchange services. So this is one verification, and second is that this console, Exchange Management, if everything is fine, everything works fine, it should be able to let us connect to Exchange. Return to the snap-in. It gave us some error message. So I'm going to cancel this, let it load automatically. Um, we haven't restarted this machine. If this errors out on us, we're gonna restart this machine. So it is not connecting. So let's see, give it some more time. Searching for Exchange on premises. Now we can do, since this Exchange organization is installed, we can start this, but I'm not going to install the second one. I'm going to do this in my second video for Exchange. It is searching for Exchange, initializing, because it's the first time it is installed. What happens is, in Exchange, it creates a default database, mailbox database. So one default database, then we're going to create more databases later on, more user accounts. So we'll give it a few more moments. Gathering information. Yes, so Exchange is installed now. Now, how can we see? I can see it is given to us for 119 days evaluation license, and here I do see different components of Exchange. It is still loading this information, but as long as you see this and as long as you see these under Exchange organization, your Exchange is installed. And this is our organization name. Actually, this is the Exchange server name, and so it will load these values in few moments. So this means Exchange is installed, and in the next video I'm going to show you more. We're going to go dive into Exchange, working with mailboxes, recipient, server configurations, and everything. Thank you for watching this video, and I'm gonna see you in part 2 of Exchange video.